Paris might be the capital of fashion, but this year's Fashion Week showed us that even the biggest celebrities can miss the mark. Take Pamela Anderson at Mugler. Instead of a bold, fresh moment, she turned up in a shiny high-neck dress that looked like it had been borrowed from an 80s time capsule. The stiff silhouette swallowed her charm instead of celebrating it, leaving the whole look feeling dated rather than daring. Over at Chloe, Olivia Wilde took a completely different misstep. She showed up to Chloe looking like she got lost on the way to a prairie wedding. The lace overload and ruffled crop top felt less runway, more vintage shop impulse buy. And then came the leopard print showdown. Both Gwendolyn Christie and Rita Ora went bold with animal spots, but in two totally different and equally questionable directions. Gwendolyn's look gave strong, heading to brunch at the zoo energy, while Rita's version made us wonder if she forgot half her outfit before leaving the hotel. Leopard might be timeless, but this wasn't it. Barbara Palvin also left us scratching our heads at the BOF 500 Gala. Her look had so much going on: odd hip padding, random feathers, misplaced lace. It felt more like a DIY sewing experiment than red carpet couture. Meanwhile, Lauren Sanchez gave us one of the strangest style arcs of the week. First, she showed up in a stiff gray suit that screamed quarterly earnings call rather than Paris Fashion Week. Then, at Chanel, she switched into a gown that tried so hard for drama but only ended up fussy and dated. And when Jeff Bezos is the best dressed in the couple, you know the styling memo went missing. Emma Corrin, on the other hand, looked like they raided their grandma's closet and layered everything at once. The mismatched tartans and bulky fleece screamed thrift store chaos, not front row fashion. And speaking of fumbles, Jenny Ortega at Givenchy and Emma Chamberlain at Courrèges somehow ended up with the same problem: sheer skirts that didn't feel like finished outfits. Instead of fashion forward, they felt unfinished, like swimsuit cover-ups that never got the rest of the outfit. Sophie Turner arrived at Louis Vuitton in what can only be described as Bat cosplay. Dramatic wings, bulky boots, and a dark silhouette that looked more Gotham vigilante than front row chic. Fun for Halloween, maybe, but for Fashion Week, a bit much. Amy Lou Wood also struggled at Chloe in a look stuck between dominatrix cosplay and vintage schoolgirl, and the beige boots only added to the confusion. At Louis Vuitton, Lara Worthington took the oversized trend to a strange place. Her look had the vibe of a belted blanket trying very hard to pass as couture. The whole thing just felt clumsy and unfinished. Now, Heidi Klum. Where do I even start? Her Paris run was one of the most chaotic of all. At Vetements, Heidi showed up in an oversized and boxy coat, then ditched it to reveal a sheer disaster underneath. And it didn't get better at Christian Louboutin, where lace tights were apparently supposed to be a full outfit. Spoiler, they weren't. Jaden Smith at Christian Louboutin was another head-turner, but for all the wrong reasons. Shoulder pads, gloves, all red everything. He looked more ready for a football game than a fashion show. Chaos without the payoff. On the other hand, Hailey Bieber and Zoe Kravitz seemed to channel a just rolled out of bed vibe. Hailey in a windbreaker and lace shorts combo, Zoe in a khaki bomber jacket paired with a pale yellow slip skirt. Jerry Lee XTX kept the same chaotic energy at Saint Laurent, going for half-dress chic that felt more messy than memorable. Then there were the stars, guilty of Fashion Week's worst crime, being boring. Penelope Cruz, Emma Watson, Sarah Snook, and Kristen Milioti all wore dull, poorly fitted looks that barely registered, and in Paris, forgettable is the ultimate sin. Meanwhile, Carla Bruni's look didn't quite land. The heavy fur coat over a mustard dress felt more thrift store gamble than Fashion Week moment. Honestly, from a supermodel of her caliber, we were expecting runway magic, not Sunday flea market. Charlize Theron, on the other hand, went bold at Dior, pairing a shirtless look with an oversized leather jacket. While meant to be edgy, the mismatched proportions threw it off, leaving the outfit more disjointed than daring. Jennifer Lawrence played it cool, with not one but two Dior looks. The first featured a layered trench and vest, giving off that relaxed, borrowed from the boys energy. Then she switched to jeans and a turtleneck. Simple, sleek, but maybe too casual for Paris Fashion Week. Now, Jenna Ortega, She brought edge to Dior in a Kingsguard style vest paired with a frayed denim mini. It definitely had attitude, but here's the thing. The vest leaned a bit costumey and the raw hem didn't give the polished couture weak demands. Switching over to Louis Vuitton, both Emma Stone and Ana de Armas kept things simple. Emma in a cream knit dress and Anna in a monochrome sweater and shorts set with boots. Chic and polished, yes, but too understated for Fashion Week. Their looks didn't exactly impress, though fortunately they didn't disappoint either. Jennifer Connelly, meanwhile, went edgy in a leather jacket dress. It had attitude, but the bold boots clashed, and overall, the look just didn't deliver. Zendaya, though, took a swing, but maybe a little too hard. Her Louis Vuitton look was meant to dazzle, but the shiny fabric and fur-trimmed details made it feel more tinfoil Santa Claus than runway-ready couture. Léa Seydoux kept it elegant in a black Louis Vuitton mini with flared sleeves and boots. It was sleek and stylish, but again, I kind of wanted more drama from someone who usually owns the Paris runway. Next up, Helen Mirren showed up for Stella McCartney in a clean, sharp look. But here's the catch, it felt a little too businesslike. Less front row and more executive meeting. Naomi Watts followed it courageous with an all-black latex top ensemble and minimalist styling, aiming for sci-fi cool, though it ended up feeling more Matrix cosplay than couture. Luckily, there were some looks that didn't disappoint. Starting with Saint Laurent, Renée Zellweger kept it sleek and effortless in a sharp black suit paired with a sheer top. The loose tailoring gave her a relaxed, cool vibe. But the visible bra through the sheer layer is bound to spark opinions. Some will call it daring, others might think it underwhelming for Saint Laurent's usual polished edge. Of course, we can't forget the drama queens of the night, Linda Evangelista and Madonna. Linda showed up in an oversized faux fur coat with power boots that screamed boldness, while Madonna turned up the heat with moody leather and lace. Together, they broke through the sea of safe looks and gave Fashion Week the bold energy it needed. Next up, Dior, and it brought a moment no one expected. After more than 30 years away from Paris Fashion Week, Johnny Depp made his big return. And let's just say he didn't come quietly. Rocker layers, messy, cool styling, and then a surprise moment alongside none other than Brigitte Macron. Yes, France's First Lady and the Hollywood rebel side by side, her sharp blazer and Dior combo clashing yet balancing with his laid-back style. Nobody expected this duo, and yet somehow it worked. Moving on to L'Oreal's Walk Your Worth show, and wow, this was a star-studded spectacle. Eva Longoria owned the runway in a sculpted black corset gown that hugged every curve, radiating confidence, polish, and pure Hollywood glamour. And speaking of shine, Jane Fonda and Simone Ashley lit up the L'Oreal runway like silver and gold. Jane's molten metallic gown radiated star power, while Simone's golden fringe mini brought disco-level glamour. Together, they proved shine never goes out of style. Then we had Andie MacDowell and Viola Davis serving classic, timeless elegance in striking black gowns, powerful, graceful, and undeniably sophisticated. Finally, Kendall Jenner closed the L'Oreal show in a flowing white gown with a daring slit, delivering a finale that blended goddess-like grace with old Hollywood glamour. She completely owned that runway.